Uh, Guys, first of all, before starting, I would like to apologize because today there has been a little bit more delay. Basically, the problem was this that it was not possible that we could have scheduled it because there was some internet issue and connection issue that was going on. So from past half an hour for 40 minutes, we are trying to get it connected, and I thought that it will not be possible to stream today, but after a lot of struggles, now I think finally we have connected, and I think that now the voice is clear and the video is also clear. First of all, please confirm, is the voice clear and video clear so that I can proceed, because I don't know whether the stream is showing on your mobile phones clearly or not. Please first of all confirm me, then only I will move forward. Is the voice clear and the video is clear or not? I think there's some issue. Is it clear? Please confirm me, because I don't know whether it's clear or not. Fine, we have tried it 3-4 times earlier also, but actually I have even recorded this overview 2 times, but then I got to know that it's not streaming there. Okay, so it's not like from 30-40 minutes I am trying it. I have done it 2-3 times. I have completed the overview, but then I got to know that it's not coming there. So please confirm me now. Okay. Clear, it's visible, clear, clear, clear. Okay. Chalo. Thank God, it's clear. So now finally, let's start with the first of all overview of the today's newspaper, and then we will be starting with the detailed discussion. And I would like to tell you that if you are joining here for the first time, you can download the explainer notes of this entire session from our Telegram channel. The link for Telegram channel has been given in description box. Now coming on. So guys, here the first article, Supreme Court refuses to stay Election Commission order giving Sena name to Shinde. So in Maharashtra, we have seen that few months back, there was the division that happened between the Shiv Sena. So the Eknath Shinde's faction, basically they joined the BJP party, and after that, there was a kind of a dispute between Shiv Sena's two groups, that who will get the original Shiv Sena name and the bow and arrow symbol. So that particular symbol, election symbol and name has been given by Election Commission to the Eknath Shinde's faction. So in this particular direction, Uddhav Thackeray, they fear their property, their bank accounts will also go to them, and because of this particular thing, they are disputing this decision. So in this thing, Supreme Court has said that Election Commission's order will carry on, and Chief Justice of India has even dismissed that fear that this will have any impact on properties, bank balance. It will have any impact on bank balances, as well as it will have any impact on their properties. So this thing has been overruled. Now you are not required to go and track this particular issue every day, because this is, guys, more of a kind of a political tussle that is going on. So no need to go too much here. Fine. Then side article, India remains a bright spot to contribute 15% of global growth in 2023, IMF. Okay. Then we have a pandemonium in MCD house after AAP's Shelley Oberoi gets elected as Delhi mayor. Now you are not required, then advertisements etc. has been given. Okay, so guys, moving on, we don't have much of the important articles in the city section, regional issues etc. Uttar Pradesh budget. If you are preparing for UPPCS, then go and see the Uttar Pradesh budget, but apart from that also not very much important. Okay, then further moving on, states, Aam Aadmi Party to be third time lucky, BJP. So political articles. So we will be skipping all these particular things and will directly come to the editorial page. So first article, protect the power of the little man in democracy. We'll see this particular article. Then end the war. So the war in Ukraine, it seems endless, so talks should be carried. Now this kind of article comes every day in newspaper, every few days or few weeks it will come that okay, Russia Ukraine war doesn't seem that it is coming to an end. Okay, now you are not required to track this day by day commentary or here. Okay, then further moving on, India can become a biodiversity champion. We'll see this article. Fine, carbon trading, will take this particular article, and the carbon trading also we have seen just a couple of days back. Okay, CSDS Lokniti Health Survey. So CSDS Lokniti has carried a survey, and this entire page is filled with that particular survey's findings. So we will take all these particular articles also. Then coming to text and context page, significance of the findings in Keladi. You will see this article with respect to examination. Why have French troops withdrawn from Burkina Faso? We'll see this particular article also with the exam. Then Ahmedabad, a city which has seen the best of times and worst of times. So the article is talking about some of the books which have been written on Ahmedabad. This is a bibliography article. but you are not required to go too much in detail in this particular article. Academic substance is not there. Then coming, India China holds in person border talks after 3 years. So we have seen this particular thing, that confrontations between India and China has increased a lot over the LAC. We have seen that in 2020 Galwan Valley dispute happened. Then what happened? Galwan Valley clashes happened. Then guys, after that particular thing, just few months back, we have seen that in the Tawang sector also, Arunachal Pradesh, there was the clashes and conflicts that happened. Now in this particular capacity, the External Affairs Joint Secretary, okay, and China's Assistant Foreign Minister, they are carrying the talks in this particular thing, and both the countries have provided that they will try to restore the normalcy. However, much important outcome has not been there, so I will not suggest you to go too much, because these are the basically such kind of discussions, such kind of dialogues at the multiple levels of the ministries or ambassador diplomacy. It goes on. So much important thing has not come out of that. After that, Biden administration makes push to name Eric Garcetti as US envoy to India. No need to follow here these articles too much. Then again, the ICDS health survey that we have seen in editorial section, it is being continued. Fine. Moving on after that, political articles, literature festival, etc. Are there. So guys, moving on here, Deccan Sonia fossil found in Bhimbetkai's old beehive. We'll see this particular article with respect to exam. Only children above 6 must get class 1 admission, government. Okay, we'll see this particular article also. Then guys, after that, coming to world page, China Russia ties not aimed at other countries, Wang Yi. Okay, so guys, here we see this particular thing. Basically, when we talk about the China and Russia relations, they have actually improved a lot in past few months, particularly because of the common adversary that China and Russia both have. So when we talk about the common adversary, China and Russia both say that the USA is their adversary because of the ideological difference that has been there, and against the India and China, sorry, my apologies. So China and Russia says that their common adversary is USA, because USA and China, Russia on another hand, they have kind of an ideological differences, and therefore whenever the China and Russia are coming together, it is seemed that they are coming together against USA. But our partnership is not against other countries, and here other countries mean USA particularly, and some other Western nations. Fine, this is something. Then further moving on, Xi Jinping calls for China's self-reliance in technology. So China is also moving towards a kind of an Atmanirbharta. Then rupee trade facing friction as banks wary of US sanctions. Okay. Policy complacent about growth, economy may pay a high price. Okay, so guys, there is one more article in fact where we are going to see the IMF's viewpoint on the economy. Then rising heat likely to impact wheat output, FDI equity flows slid 15%. Okay, one thing I tell you many number of times, guys, that you are not actually required to go too much in detail in evolutionary details, datas, etc. Okay, that is about it. Okay, and now guys, discussing all these articles, all the relevant articles one by one in the detail. Okay, so first of all, we'll be starting with the GS quotation. We take the quote in every class so that that quote can be complemented in your GS answers, either 1, 2, 3, 4 or in essay paper. Okay, fine. Moving on, guys, here in this particular direction. Okay, sir, why are you late? Guys, again, I want to address the same thing that I said in the start of the video. See, first of all, understand this particular thing, that I am a single person doing all these things. So I am the technical guy, I am the cameraman, I am the teacher here, I am the one who is making the notes. So sometimes there are some technical issues, there are that come. So please cooperate for that particular thing. Okay. Now, Archibald MacLeish. Okay, so he says that democracy, just a minute. Okay, so democracy, just a minute. So democracy is never a thing done. Democracy is always something that a nation must be doing. So democracy is never a thing done. Democracy is not an event, okay, which you once achieve and then the deal has been done. For example, democracy is not that you just got a constitution, you implemented that constitution. Rather, democracy is a process. Democracy is a process. Democracy is always something that nation must be doing. Democracy is all about implementation of that constitution. Democracy is not implementation of constitution just, but the implementation of a democratic constitution is democracy. So democracy is all about processes. Fine. So you can't achieve democracy in one go. Democracy is a thing that continuously has to be achieved, and a nation needs to be continuously vigilant in this particular direction. Okay, then now that is all about it. Now taking up the first article. So here I have taken up this entire page in editorial section that has come out, which is talking about the CSDS Lok Niti Health Survey. So all these particular articles finding we have clubbed here in this crisp note, and please download it from the Telegram channel, this particular note. Now basically let's know that what has happened here. Okay, so basically guys, recently the Lok Niti has conducted a survey. First of all, name of the survey that we are going to discuss here, it is Lok Niti Center for the Study of Developing Society, CSDS survey. Along with the Lok Niti, these other organizations have also participated, such as the King's India Institute, Royal Holloway of London, Center of Social and Economic Progress. Now, Lok Niti, it is a think tank. Lok Niti is a think tank which carries such kind of surveys at regular intervals, and it tries to track what are the performance of government's welfare programs, what are the social justice indicators in India. All these surveys are carried by Lok Niti. Now, recently the Lok Niti has carried the survey on the status of health. This is called as Lok Niti CSDS Health Survey. And in this health survey, they have actually conducted survey in 5 states, that is Bihar, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. According to Lok Niti, they have selected these particular 5 states because they represent a range of health outcomes. So what are the findings? Let's see the findings one by one. Now, first of all, when we talk about whether the citizens are satisfied with the health or not, so on that particular level, Lok Niti has provided this particular thing, that when we talk about the health services, over one third, that is around 33% of respondents are fully satisfied with the overall healthcare system that is being provided in India. So it shows that relative satisfaction is comparatively high, 33%, and half, that is around 50% of the respondents, they say they are fully satisfied with the treatment they received in the hospital the last time they have visited. Okay, so 50% have been satisfied. So actually in absolute numbers, though it is not good, it has to be around 80% or 70%, but still 50% we see that a clear improvement has been there over the past few years. Although relatively few people express dissatisfaction, the majority are not fully satisfied. Okay, after that, when we talk about the experience with respect to the healthcare system facilities, there is also the difference between rich versus poor, people living in urban area, rural area. There are the differences on that particular thing. Here we see this thing, that the rich people, they are expressing the most satisfaction at 45%. 45% of rich people are satisfied, but the poor people are not that much satisfied. Poor people are satisfied at just 32%. Now see this thing, that rich people, often they have connections. Rich people can also go and take the treatment in private facilities also. It is not a concern for them. But when we talk about the policies are inclusive, policies are effective only when the last of the last section are getting benefit of that. Therefore, the word Antyodaya we use. But poorest people, they are not that much satisfied. Only 32% of them are satisfied as per the Lok Niti survey. The next thing, rural-urban divide can also be found. Here, it has been provided by the Lok Niti survey that levels of satisfaction is high in the rural people. Rural people are more satisfied, but urban residents are comparatively less satisfied. That is also one more thing that has been there. And then when we talk about the age group, so middle age group, that is 46 to 55 years, they reveal the higher level of satisfaction. 46 to 55 years of people, they are more satisfied. So these are the demographic, economic, geographical patterns in this particular direction. And vis-a-vis the states when are concerned, so in that comparison, so satisfaction is highest in Gujarat and it is lowest in Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. So highest in Gujarat and lowest in Tamil Nadu, lowest in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, this is about it. Now further, do voters care about health? Okay, is the health a kind of a priority for the voters here? So this is also something that we need to see. Now here, talking about that particular thing, it is said that for the voters, the most important issue in the voting, in the election, is jobs and employment. Jobs and employment, number one, and after jobs and employment, number two is health. Number two is health. So health is the second most important priority, and at the same time, along with the health, school is also the important priority. So this is the priority that they give. Okay, health is also the second most, already we have seen this thing. Moreover, it has been provided that half of the respondents, around 50% of the people, said health facilities will affect their vote choice to a great extent or to some extent. It means that the candidates, that is the candidates who are it is being said that the candidates who are who have promised some health manifesto, who have promised some promises in terms of the health, the government, the political parties who are promising some kinds of health schemes, they will be getting more favor. Older voters are more concerned about health than younger people, because old people are the ones who get who face this particular repercussions more. So old are more concerned than the young people. Then after that, moving on in this particular thing, does health impact voting decision? Does health impact the voting decision? Now in this particular capacity, guys, understand one thing, that public just a minute. Yes, so in this particular capacity, when we talk about the public evaluation of the health services, it is this, that the health services have actually got improved in the last few years. Okay, so public evaluation is that hospitals, 52% believe that the 52% voters believe that the hospital have got better. Now they are providing better services, they are better responding, and all such kind of things. Then after that, the next thing that comes here is that voters are also more likely to attribute responsibility of running health to state government. Now when a question is being asked that who you think is responsible for the conditions of the health, the state government or is it the central government? So voter thinks that it is more of the state government. Okay, just guys give me 1 second's time. Okay, so this is the thing that has come. Then after that, moving on in this next direction, so voters further, it says that if the hospitals got better, they are more likely to vote for the chief minister's party than those so they will vote more for the chief minister's party. So it means that the state government is going to get more and more advantage of that particular thing. Then after that, does the contact with the service make people more or less satisfied? It means that actually using the health services, okay, by that particular thing, actually using it and actually experiencing it, what people will think then after that. So in this capacity, it has been provided that close to quarter of people, okay, 25% of the people approximately, they have actually used government's schemes, government's welfare mechanisms. For example, they have used Ayushman Bharat. They have used the Ayushman Bharat scheme, state health insurance program. They have used Janani Shishu Suraksha Karyakaram. They have used Janani Suraksha Yojana. These schemes have been used approximately by 25% of the people, and then 50% of the people, close to half, that is 50% of the people, they have also got benefited from the mission Indradhanush. Okay, around 48% people. Then there are large number of people who have never benefited from the scheme, because obviously 50% are covered, then other remaining 50% they did not covered under this particular thing. Okay, there is one doubt, this is because health is a subject of state list, but dear, you need to understand this thing, that the poor, illiterate, common people don't understand that it is a state subject. Okay, people don't know that particular thing, that there are the 7th schedule in constitution, and there is a state list, concurrent list, union list. Okay, people, they have their own notions. Okay, so this is actually a reason, but will not be a big reason for people to think that the state government is responsible. Okay, now moving on in this particular direction, overall, people who benefited from these schemes were more likely to be satisfied than those who have not. So obviously those who have those who have used the service and got benefit will be more satisfied. That is a common sense thing. Okay, then further, it has also been provided, there is a very important thing, that the level of satisfaction decreased with increase in waiting time. So if there is an increase in waiting time, the satisfaction level will decrease. So that happened today with our video. So okay, so as you have to wait more today, fine, then you suddenly will feel that okay, what's happening and all that kind of a thing. Okay, so that is all about it. Now moving on guys in this particular direction. Okay, so now taking the next article, and if there is any doubt. Okay, there is a question, sir. Please make video at 7 o'clock. It helps us in library. Okay, making video at 7 o'clock. Can we do that? Can't we do that? I want to explain this particular thing very categorically. Earlier, guys, earlier we used to stream video around 7 a.m. only, fine, 6:30, 7 a.m. But what is happening from nowadays? The newspaper is getting published at around 6 a.m. in morning. Earlier, it used to get published anyhow by 4 or 4:15 a.m. Okay, and we could have started the work from 4 a.m. Now we wait. Some days the newspaper get published at 6 a.m. Some days it get published at 6:15 a.m. Okay, sometimes earlier also. But the point is that the newspaper, it's getting published little bit late. So you need to understand this thing, that till the time we don't have actually the copy of newspaper, how we can make the notes on that particular thing. One thing. Second thing, guys, one more issue I am having is that, see, every day there are so many of the requests and that thing is coming. But see, from my side also there is one thing that I want to convey, and actually I am very much dissatisfied with the type of response that's there. Okay, so I every day say that please like the video, but the likes are not even 20-25% of the views that are there. So majority of you want everything, but the point is that when we say that please help us, because you are not understanding, but this is very serious, that if this way it will go, then you need to think that how we will be able to continue with this particular initiative. Okay, it will not be possible. Fine. So I also need that support, which I have said to you many number of times, that guys, please support this, please support this. I know this thing, that if it gets suspended on any day, fine, then everybody will come and they will say that, sir, please start again, please start again. But you need to understand this thing, that if this time that will happen, we will really be finding it very difficult. So it's fine if you think it's your initiative, if you think it's your platform, then I expect a kind of a favor from you guys, that please do uh, show the support to the initiative as well. Okay, then moving on the next article, the significance of the findings in Kiladi. The significance of the findings in Kiladi. Now, guys, understand basically what this particular article is talking about. The article is talking about a new civilization's trace that have been found in Tamil Nadu, and after the great Indus civilization that we have, we might be having one more civilization from South India, that is the Vagai civilization. So this is talking about the Vagai civilization, about which there are some findings that have happened in Kiladi. So what is Kiladi, guys? Kiladi is a small hamlet in the Shivaganga district, in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so some of the findings are there which have been found, and on that particular thing we are going to see this particular article. So what is Kiladi? The article says the significance of the findings in Kiladi. What is Kiladi? So just a minute. Yes. So what is Kiladi? Kiladi is a small hamlet. It is a small town. It is a small hamlet, small town in Shivaganga district in the southern Tamil Nadu. And in 2015, there were some excavations that were carried in the Kiladi, and there some traces, some pottery beads, and some tools have been found. And these pottery, beads, tools, and many such kind of things that have been found, they are postulating that there was a kind of a civilization that existed in this particular region of Tamil Nadu around Shivaganga district, and it shows that there might have been some great civilization like the Indus Valley civilization that was there in this particular time. So it has been provided. It has been provided. Now let's first of all understand a little bit more about this particular finding. So basically this Kiladi place and the civilization that they are talking about it, this Kiladi place and the civilization that they are talking about it, it might have existed somewhere around the Sangam age. Sangam age. So what was the Sangam age? Sangam age was the period in the history of India and Tamil Nadu when the great Sangams, okay, were organized, where the poets came, and poets, the authors, they came and they composed the great literary works of India and Tamil Nadu. Okay, the Sangam age. So the three great Sangams or the Muchangams have been held, and these three Sangams or the unions or the meetings were very important because majority of the literature were composed during this Sangam period. So around the Sangam age, this particular civilization existed, and this civilization existed on the banks of the Vagai river. So river always plays a very important role in any civilization's thriving. Indus civilization, it was earlier found that was around the Indus river, then it was believed that it was in Indus basin, then it got spread to other parts also. But Indus have been, and other rivers such as the Saraswati etc. have been a very important river in the Indus civilization also. So in the here this Keladi, here this in this civilization also the Vagai river has played a very important role, and this particular civilization, okay, was linked to the Sangam age. So Sangam age was believed to be between 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. So between 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD, around these 600 years or so, Sangam age prevailed. Okay, and renowned Sangam poets from Madurai came here in the Sangam age at the Sang and constituted the Sangam. Now when we talk about the Keladi, it can actually help in giving more concrete shape to the findings of the history. Okay, now understand this particular thing, that when we talk about the Keladi, it provides crucial evidence for understanding the missing links in the history. So basically the Iron Age to the early historic period. Okay, Iron Age and early historic period, between them there was a missing link. Okay, that what thrived during that time. So here we found that actually that the Vagai, around the Vagai river, there was the Vagai civilization that could have been there. Is it clear or not? Now, Tamil Nadu, now actually there is one political controversy that has also coming here, is that, so the politicians in Tamil Nadu, they have accused the center government that deliberately center government is trying to stop the further excavations in Keladi because they didn't want to come out of the Tamil history and all such kind of things are there. Okay, so we will not be going in this particular direction. Now this particular civilization that is being excavated, it is being called as the Vagai Valley civilization. So as we have Indus Valley civilization, it is being called as the Vagai Valley civilization. Now Vagai Valley civilization and Indus Valley civilization, there are comparisons also that are being made. Why? Because Indus Valley civilizations was very developed, and in the same way Vagai Valley civilization also is being said that it had a lot of maturity. We will see that thing by when we will see the items that have been found here. However, there was a gap of 1000 years between Vagai Valley civilization and Indus Valley civilization. Now when we talk about the Keladi, what are the artifacts that have been found here? So basically this civilization has all the characteristics of urban civilization. It has the brick structures. Okay, bricks have been found, and bricks actually have been found in Indus Valley civilization also, and bricks show a kind of a advanced level of architecture because baked bricks, burned bricks, all types of bricks have been found in Indus Valley, and here also the bricks are there. Then there are the luxury items which have also been found here. Okay, and these luxury items shows that there was internal and external trade, import exports was prevalent in the Vagai Valley civilization. After that, guys, next also it is coming here is that it comes across as advanced civilization. It comes across as an advanced civilization. Why? Because first of all, you see the things that have been found here. So the pottery, heaps of pottery, a lot of pottery has been found, and this pottery shows that pottery was a important activity that was taking. Pottery making industry was very developed here. Then after, on some of the pots, 120 pots herds means the remains, the broken remains of the pots. On these pots, there are also the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions that have been found. Tamil Brahmi inscriptions have also been found. So basically, it clearly suggests that the script, Tamil Brahmi script, has long been there and it has been survived. It has survived. Okay. Then further moving on, after that, after the pottery, Okay, there are other things that have been also found, that is a spindle halls. Spindle halls, they are something like this. So these spindle halls are the equipments for making of the yarn, thread, okay, weaving. We use the spindle halls. Then there are the needles of copper, terracotta seals, okay, hanging stones, okay, terracotta spheres, okay, spherical shaped terracotta, earthenwares to hold liquid, okay, and all these things are there. It shows that there was also a vibrant weaving industry. There also exists a dyeing industry to dye. Okay, glass bead industry was also there. Then some of the expensive metals have also been found. For example, gold metals ornaments are there. Copper articles are there. Semi-precious stones, shell bangles, ivory combs. It shows that there this civilization, it was advanced, it was artistic, it was culturally rich, it was a prosperous civilization, prosperous lifestyle was there. Moreover, agate and carnelian beads are also there. Now agate and carnelian, majorly it has been imported in India, and the presence of agate and carnelian beads also suggests that there have been certain imports also that this civilization carried. Is it clear or not? Fine. Sir, again, please tell what Kiladi. Kiladi is a place in Tamil Nadu. At that place in Tamil Nadu, there was now, see, Harappan civilization. Why Indus civilization is called as Harappan civilization? Why? Because Harappa was a place where the excavation was made and the remains were found. Then it was found that no, it is not only about the Harappa, a very big civilization was there, and then a bigger name was given, Indus Valley. So Kiladi is a place where these excavations have been made, and it is being said that actually not only these excavations are at, not only these are not the isolated findings, rather there was a big civilization that existed here, that is the Vegai Valley civilization. Okay, so I hope guys that you have understood it. Now moving to the next article. Okay, so taking up this next article, why has French troops withdrawn from Burkina Faso? Why have French troops withdrawn from Burkina Faso? Now guys, what is this particular article all about? Okay, so basically, first of all, let's see the Burkina Faso on map. Let's see Burkina Faso on the map. Okay, now here you can see the map of Africa. Here you can see the map of Africa, and here we have Burkina Faso. Okay, and who are the neighbors of the Burkina Faso? You can see on the map here. Okay, so we have Mali. Okay, we have Niger. Okay, okay, fine. So basically, you can try, just a minute. Okay, so basically, guys, when we talk about okay, so basically Burkina Faso, then you have Mali here. Just a minute. We have here the Burkina Faso, you have Mali here, you have Niger here, then we have Benin, sorry, then we have Togo, we have Ghana, we have Cote d'Ivory. Okay, so these are the neighbors of Burkina Faso. Okay, so basically, now basically when we talk about the Burkina Faso, guys, in Burkina Faso there is a lot of insurgency. There is Islamic insurgency that is going on in Burkina Faso from last few years, and in order to resolve this Islamist insurgency that is going on in the Burkina Faso, French government signed an agreement with the government of Burkina Faso and provided that we will send our armed personnel and they will help you to fight with this Islamic insurgents. But now the Burkina Faso's government has ordered the France that you please go out of our country. So basically here we see that the French troops are now withdrawing from Burkina Faso. Okay, so this particular region, first of all guys, as we talk about it, this particular region is the Sahel region. Okay, so actually the point is that in the Sahel region, the France government has actively been involved in Burkina Faso. It has been involved in Mali also, because guys, this particular region, when we see, this region happens to be an underdeveloped region because of the geographical terrain that is there. Okay, poverty has been very much high, instability has been very much high, fragile governments here often are fragile and are being led by the military generals. Okay, so this is something that has been the case. So this is some little of the basic background that was there. Now coming on in this particular article. So basically what has happened now, just in February, just 2-3 days back, Burkina Faso government has announced this particular thing, that officially we have ended the operations led by France in the country. Now actually France had signed the agreement with Burkina Faso in 2018, and France promised that we will try to bring stability in your country, and on that particular promise the France came. Okay, now after that, actually, I have told you that the Sahel region, it has a kind of a instability, and such kind of an agreement was also signed with the Mali by the France at the same point of time. Okay, such agreements have also been signed by the with the Mali. Okay, fine. Okay, and even recently Mali have terminated the such kind of an even Mali has suspended this particular kind of an agreement. Okay, now Burkina Faso's government says this particular thing, that why we are suspending this particular agreement with France. Certain reasons have been given, and let's understand these reasons one by one. So the first reason that has been given is there, that the Burkina Faso's government says that we ourselves, they wanted, say that the country themselves want to be the prime actors in the recapture of our territory. We don't want that other countries come and help us. We want that we ourselves will be fighting and will be recapturing the territory. Second thing, it has also been provided this particular thing, that there is also the failure of the France to control the counter-insurgency operations. Up till now, France has not delivered much of the result, and because they have not delivered much of the result, they needed it to be removed from there. The next thing that has come here is that basically, even after the coming of the France, the intensity has kept on intensifying. It has kept on intensifying. Moreover, there are also the anti-France protests that have increased in the Burkina Faso. Many number of times, it is also said this particular thing, that Burkina Faso's it has also been said that the French militaries, sometimes it has been accused, now we don't know whether it is true or not, but sometimes it has been said that often they have also not been very nice to the civilian people also. So because of that, there are the anti-French demonstrations that have also increased. Moreover, there is also one bigger reason, and this bigger reason is that there is also the increase in the pro-Russian sentiments. Okay, and as the pro-Russian sentiments are increasing, okay, so as the pro-Russian sentiments are increasing, so here we see this particular thing, that basically, you know right now that there is West versus Russia rivalry that is going on. And as West versus Russia rivalry is going on, France is a country which is clearly aligned towards the West. So as pro-Russian sentiments are increasing in this particular capacity, okay, they want to remove the France out of this particular thing. And guys, understand this particular thing, that now because dissatisfaction against France and Western countries is there, it is also giving benefit to Russia and China. Now Russia and China has become more preferable partners. They have become more preferable partners. So this is something that has happened, and now we need to see that whether actually they will be signing any deal with the Russia, or what is going to happen. So that is something we need to see now. Fine, that's all about it. Now moving to next article, guys. Protect the power of the little man in democracy. Now, this is an editorial article, and guys, this particular article, though we are going to discuss it, and I have also provided you the notes here, but this article is majorly talking in a majorly, it has a kind of a critic tone, and it is talking about that how governments have failed, how the governments are not actually respecting the democratic ethos, okay, and how the governments actually are not are not ensuring that the democracy is carried in its both letter and spirit. So basically, the article, just you need to read it. You just need to read it, and just to have a kind of a opinion on one particular aspect, that how the democracy is actually to be governed. So you need to have an opinion, and for that thing, we'll read this particular article for GS paper number 2. So the article says that the nation have just celebrated the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Okay, but there are deep contradictions that are there. Okay, there are the deep contradictions that are there. Okay, and in this particular thing, it has been also provided this particular thing, that there has been contradictions on multiple levels. For example, number one, we see this thing, that there is a deepening divide between the rich and the poor. There is a deepening divide between the rich and the poor. After that thing, there is the precarious condition that affects the rule of law. There are the precarious conditions that affect the rule of law. Okay, many number of times the laws are being selectively be applied, all such things. Then there are not so good governance. Okay, good governance is not there. Polarization on the names of religion, caste lines are going on, which have created the distrust. The government has constantly targeted the opposition. Fine, verbal attacks have been there, political mechanizations are being carried in such kind of a way that the oppositions have actually got delegitimized. Okay, now further in this particular direction, it has also said that the Supreme Court also has not been able to deal with this particular thing. Supreme Court has also not been able to deal with this thing. There are attacks on judiciary, including the Supreme Court. Okay, so article is saying that systemically what has happened, the democratic process, the democratic ethos is not being followed, and in a way, the constitutional morality has been ignored. Now, what do we understand by the word constitutional morality first of all? So, constitutional morality means to realize, number one, to understand the constitution, to understand the ideals of the constitution, understanding the constitution both in letter as well as spirit, understanding the law in the letter and as well as the intention of that particular law. Okay, understanding that particular thing is the constitutional morality, and this constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment. See, understand this thing. For example, if somebody is treating you unequally, okay, you will feel bad. Naturally, we want equality. Justice, naturally we want justice. Justice we want from, okay, nobody teaches us that justice is important for you. We need justice, we need equality. These are the natural sentiments. But constitutional morality, following the constitutions, basically realizing the constitution, it is not a natural sentiment. It has to be cultivated. People have to be taught about the constitutional ethos, constitutional spirit and all these kind of things. So democracy in India is not only a top dressing on Indian soil, okay, which is essentially undemocratic. Democracy in India is only a top dressing on Indian soil, which is essentially undemocratic. Point is that we actually, many undemocratic things are there which were bad, though we are trying to improve it. For example, casteism, caste discrimination, gender discrimination. Okay, this have been undemocratic things. On that we had just brought the democratic systems, but actually really the things have become democratic or not, that we can't say. Next thing, there is the failure of the constitutional administrative authorities to work as per the letter and spirit of the constitution. Okay, and in India, this is true that every party that comes to the power, it tries to make their hold permanent. Whatever party comes, okay, party comes on the promises of reform, the parties come on the promises of changing the system, but once they come, they try to justify their wrongdoing on the basis of the wrongdoing that have been done by the other political parties. So on that particular basis, they are justifying that particular thing, which is obviously not correct. Okay, fine. The next, moving on to the next article. Okay, so this is all about it. Guys, the article doesn't contain much of that type of a substance. Fine. So article just has been written in a kind of a tone that you just read it. Not important to make much of the notes out of that. Just build an opinion. Now the next article, India can become a biodiversity champion. India can become a biodiversity champion. Now this particular article, guys, is largely talking about the initiatives that we have taken in the budget of this particular year to bring a green growth in India. Okay, what initiatives we have taken in the budget to bring the biodiversity conservation in India. These are the majorly things that we are going to discuss. So this article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3, environment, budgeting. Okay. Now, first of all, guys, when we talk about biodiversity, okay, biodiversity plays a very, very important role. It is very important for the future of our planet. Okay, because more the biodiversity we have, more longevity, more stability, more longevity of the system will be ensured. So when we talk about the biodiversity, guys, recently in 2022, what happened? 188 country representatives, they adopted an agreement to halt and reverse biodiversity loss, and it has been provided that they are going to conserve 30% of the world's land and 30% of the world's ocean by 2030. So 30-30 pledge was taken. 30 by 30 pledge is taken. Now in this 30 by 30 pledge, it has been provided this particular thing. So it has been provided that 30-30 pledge has been taken, and in this particular 30-30 pledge, it has been provided that by 2030, 30% of the world's oceans are to be conserved and 30% of the world's land is to be conserved. Okay, today when we talk about India, India hosts 17% of the planet's population, 17% population we are having, and 17% of the global area and biodiversity hotspots we are having. Okay, we have 17% of the population and 17% of the global area in biodiversity hotspot. One more thing I want to tell you, guys, when we talk about the land mass in India, okay, we have around 4% of area on that 17% of population. But in terms of in terms of the protected areas, in terms of biodiversity hotspots that we have, which are very rich in terms of the diversity that they are having, we have 17% of the biodiversity hotspot region, which is very, very good. Now, in this particular union budget, government has talked about the 7 priorities. Government has talked about the 7 priorities, and these 7 priorities are called as the Saptarishi. These 7 priorities are called as a Saptarishi. And what are these 7 priorities? Inclusive development, reaching the last mile, youth power, financial sector, green growth, unleashing the potential, infrastructure and investment. These are the 7 priorities, and these 7 priorities are important for achieving the Amrit Kal. Amrit Kal are these 25 years. Okay, that is till 2047. So in 2047, India will celebrate the 100-year anniversary of independence. So till 2047, the 25 years that we are going to observe, these are the Amrit Kal. In this Amrit Kal, green growth is important, and this article is talking about this green growth majorly. Okay, so we have taken the target of green growth. Okay, and when we talk about the green growth, a minute. Okay, guys, just give me 1 minute. Fine. So this particular year, the country has taken the budget of the country has taken the target of Saptarishi, and in this particular target of Saptarishi, okay, we have focused on green growth. Now, green growth is actually very important for India because, guys, today we are facing the loss of natural assets. For example, soil, land, water, biodiversity. On all these particular fronts, we are facing the losses. Okay. Now, basically, understand this particular thing, that what has happened. National Mission for Green India. National Mission for Green India was launched recently. And in this National Mission on Green India, it aims to increase the forest cover. It aims to increase the degraded land. It aims to protect the existing forested land. So National Mission for Green India, which has been there, it will bring the green growth. It will help in environmental conservation. Okay, the next initiative. Now, guys, please note down all these particular initiatives. Very much important for GS paper number 3. If a question comes that what are the steps that India has recently taken to bring green growth, or the steps that India has taken to conserve the environment, you have to write these things only. So, very, very excellent article. Second is green credit program. Now, this green credit program will incentivize the environmentally sustainable and responsive actions by companies, individuals, and local bodies. For example, let's say some company, for example, airport. Indira Gandhi International Airport claims itself to be the green airport. Okay, let's say a company says that we have become carbon neutral. For example, the carbon emissions that we are emitting, the same amount of carbon we are absorbing also through the different point of different ways. Some, let's say, big company says this thing that today we are completely powered by the solar energy. So basically, such kind of innovativeness, some kind of initiatives that have been taken, which are going to be help in sustainable development, which are environmentally responsible, such companies, individuals, and local bodies will be credited under the green credit program. Okay, they will be incentivized. Then this particular initiative we have started in this budget, that is MISHTI, Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitat and Tangible Incomes. MISHTI, Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitat and Tangible Income, MISHTI. Now, this MISHTI initiative, it is a very important initiative, particularly aimed to protect the mangroves. Okay, so guys, recently in the G2022 summit that held in Indonesia, there also Mangrove Alliance was joined by India, and India is showing very important, okay, is attributing a lot of importance on conservation of mangroves. So for the sustenance and for the protection of the mangroves, coastal ecosystems, and because mangroves play a very important role in climate change, so MISHTI, that is Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitat and Tangible Income Initiative, has been launched. Then after that also the PM Pranam has been launched. PM Pranam has been launched. PM Pranam stands for Prime Minister Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment, and Amelioration of the Mother Earth. Okay, again I repeat, PM Pranam stands for Prime Minister Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. And this PM Pranam is important. Why? Because here government is trying to reduce the synthetic chemicals, fertilizer, pesticides, okay, in the agriculture. So we want to ensure, we want to focus on green agriculture, we want to focus on agriculture where such chemical inputs are not used. So therefore PM Pranam will focus on such thing. Then after that, Amrit Dharohar. Amrit Dharohar scheme has also been launched. Now Amrit Dharohar schemes, now Dharohar means our heritage. Dharohar means something that we got and we need to conserve. So Amrit Dharohar talks about the biological wealth, okay, the biological wealth that we got in inheritance, which is providing us a lot of advantages. We need to protect that biological wealth. It is providing, providing incentives for optimal use of wetlands to enhance biodiversity, carbon stock, ecotourism, income generation for local communities by using biodiversity. So all these particular initiatives will be nudged. Amrit Dharohar scheme, optimal use of wetlands, don't use wetlands so that it threatens their survival, okay, enhance the biodiversity, ecotourism, environmentally, ecologically sensitive tourism, all these activities will be promoted, okay. Then after that, recently government has also taken very good initiative. So basically Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, recently they stopped the draining of Haidarpur, a Ramsar wetland in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so main number of times the wetland sites, they are drained, okay, and they are filled with the mud, the debris, so that these lands can be reclaimed for the urban development. And by that particular thing, a lot of wetlands have been lost in India. So in the same way, the Haidarpur wetland was being drained, which is a Ramsar wetland site, and this activity got stopped. So it shows the seriousness of the government when environmental conservation is there. Now, what is need of the hour? What is the need of the hour? Now, need of the hour is this, that it is actually very much important. It is very much important that these programs respond to the current state of the country's biodiversity with evidence-based implementation. Now see, problem in India is not that we don't have schemes or programs. We have schemes, programs, but implementation is a very big problem. So here it is being said that what we need to focus, this particular thing, that these programs are implemented in such a way that it responds to the current state of country's biodiversity. We need to focus on evidence-based program. The things which are working, they need to be implemented. They should continue. The things which are not working, they should need to be, just a minute. Fine. Okay. So guys, let me see if there are any doubts here. Okay, I will take the doubts after the session. So it is very critical that these programs needs to be carried, that they respond to the current situation, evidence-based decision making. The programs which are working needs to continue. Otherwise, we need to change the way as they are being implemented. After that, new missions programs, new programs that we are coming out with. New missions, new programs that we are coming out with, they need to effectively use the modern concepts of sustainability, valuation of ecosystems, okay. So the modern solution, sustainability, sociological impacts, fine, they need to be taken up. Then the future of our wetland ecosystem will also depend on how we are able to sustain ecological flows through reduction in water use in key sector. Now see this thing, often we are using a lot more water in industries for domestic purposes, and most of these waters is being withdrawn sometimes for the rivers, streams, lakes, such water bodies, sometimes the groundwater tapping. So we needed to ensure a minimum flow in the nature. So therefore, our water use, which is often exploitative, needs to also be controlled. Okay. So here, water less, basically, we need to focus on growing such kind of crops which are less water intensive, such as millets. Okay. Investments in water recycling, it's needed to be done. So that finally it is being said that as far as Green India mission is concerned, implementation is more important. Okay, moreover, as all these development is to be carried, all these schemes will be implemented, we need to ensure that basically in inclusive manner these schemes are being carried. Local people, tribal people, nomadic communities, wherever they are, we need to bring them also together with us in cooperation. okay, whenever these incentives will be launched. Okay, so point is that it has been provided each of these programs which we have discussed, Mishti, Amrit Dharohar, the Saptarishi programs, green growth priorities, all these particular programs, it has a great potential to improve the state of our nation's biodiversity if implementation is scientific. Okay, this is something. Now, moreover, guys, recently the National Mission on Biodiversity and Human Well-being, it has already been approved by the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. It will be launched. Now, basically, this National Mission on Biodiversity and Human Well-being, it is an interdisciplinary program. It is an interdisciplinary program where basically greening of India, economy, restoration of it, how the environment, economy, they can be carried together, they can be linked together. Such focus, such emphasis will be made. Now, in this particular article, we got to know a lot of government initiatives, and each of these initiatives are very, very important for your examination. Even in the prelims, the question can be asked, but when prelims questions are there, what they are going to do? They'll give you the program and largely be talking about what it focuses upon. So that we have already discussed, and then in the mains examination, we can use these initiatives, fine, to supplement our GS paper number 3 environment answers. Okay, so that is all, guys, about it. Now, moving to next article. India remains a bright spot to contribute 15% of global growth in 2023 IMF. Okay. Now, this particular article we can see with respect to the state of Indian economy. State of Indian economy. Now, first of all, I tell you many number of times, guys, that you are not required to track too much of the data that are being given by the IMF, World Bank. Why? Well, there's a reason. I am not saying that these data are not correct. The problem is that, guys, these reports are being released by the IMF and World Bank or any such credit rating agency, let's say, on the basis of the present economic condition of the country. But these economic conditions, they change with the change in inflation, they change with the change in India's trades, investment, capital investments, etc. So point is that these are revised too often. But as of recently, the IMF's director, okay, Kristalina Georgieva had said that India is a bright spot. India is going to be the major driver of not Indian, world growth. Now, what the report talks about, first of all, guys, it has been provided that when we talk about the financial year 23 and financial year 24, okay, first of all, India's growth is being talked about. So financial year 23, India's growth is 6.28%, and financial year 24, India's growth will be 6.1%. So 23, 6.8, 24, 6.1. Growth is going to go down. India's growth from 6.8 to this present financial year that we are now start. Okay, will now start. Growth will be 6.1%. What is the reason? Reason is Russia-Ukraine war. Reason is the inflation that is going on in the world. Reason is the global slump, global slowdown that is there. So India's growth will go from 6.8 to 6.1%. Now, in this particular capacity, first of all, if you compare the world growth was 3.4% in 2022, sorry. And in financial year 2023 year, sorry, the world growth is going to be 2.9%. So 2022 world growth 3.4%, 2023 world growth 2.9%. Compare it with India. India anyhow is going to have 6.9%, 6.1%. Anyhow, India is going to have 6.1%. So India's growth vis-a-vis the world growth is going to be very high, and India is the one which will provide momentum to the other countries as well. So basically, it has been provided that India remains a bright spot in the world economy, and alone India's growth will contribute to 15% of the global growth. Alone India's growth will contribute to 15% of the global growth. Who says? IMF. Now, what are the reasons? What are the reasons that India is improving so good? There are the reasons. Number one reason is digitalization. So because of the digitalization, India actually has scaled a lot. Because of the digitalization, fine, India has helped. Moreover, after that, it has also been provided that prudent fiscal policy, the way government is spending the money, the way government is bringing new initiative in this year budget, government has also promised that 10 lakh crore rupees capital investment will also be made. So prudent fiscal policy of government, significant financing for capital investments, okay, which have been provided in the budget, it will bring more growth, okay. And India remains a bright spot. I told you that world growth is going to be 2.9%, but India's growth is also very much high. Okay, so this is something, guys, that had happened. Okay, then again these growth rates are discussed here, which already I have told you, I have also shown you in the graph. Now moving to the next article. Only children above 6 get only children above 6 must get class 1 admission government. This article will see with respect to the GS paper number 2 education. GS paper number 2 education. Only children above class 6 must get class 1 admission government. Now what is this particular article guys talking all about? So basically we got our National Education Policy 2020, and National Education Policy 2020 actually has brought 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curriculum. Okay, so basically 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curriculum. Okay, so basically children between the age of 3 to 8 group will be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curriculum. Okay, so children between the age group of 3 to 8 will be covered here, 8 to 11 will be covered here, then 11 to 14 will be covered here, and then 14 to 18 will be covered here. So the new education policy 2020 that has come, it will focus that the children from age 3 to age 18 are covered in formal education setup, and they should also be provided the curriculum on the basis of their age, on the basis of their need. Okay, that is something. Now the first block that is 5. This particular block will be about the primary education, pre-primary education. It is about pre-primary education. It focuses on early childhood care, early education in the children. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that often there is a habit in the parents that they rush towards when the education of their children is concerned. What they ensure that their children directly, often they insist that their children jump some of the classes, and the children of 5 plus are being admitted to the class 1. Now when a child of 5 is being admitted to the class 1, the point is that from class 1 there will be the formal syllabus etc. that will be taught. Before the class 1 they will be focusing on play based modules, they will be given activity based learning, so that time remains less if a 5-year age student is being put in the class 1. So basically now the education ministry, now what has happened, the education ministry has provided this particular thing, that the states and union territories should ensure that the children who are being given the class 1 addition should be 6 plus, and not the 5 plus. 6 plus means that before they are in the class 1 they should have actually taken they have actually taken up the essential childhood education. Okay, pre-primary education they have taken. Okay, now understand this particular thing, that in 2020 government, I already told you, came with the National Education Policy 2020. And in this National Education Policy 2020, government focused that early childhood care and education will be formalized. Moreover, in the new education policy also is provided that early childhood care and education will be moved from the Women and Child Development Ministry to the Education Ministry. So Women and Child Development Ministry to the Education Ministry, it will be moved. Okay. Now I told, now guys, you might be knowing that until this NEP 2020, you also have been in this 10 plus 2 structure. Fine. The 10 plus 2 structure. This was the formal structure. 1 to class 10, and then class 11 and class 12. This was a 10 plus 2 structure. It used to start from class 1. Before that, there was no formal setup of pre-primary education. There was no formal setup of early childhood care education. But now we are going to focus on that. So the new system of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 that has come, it is based on strong early learning from the age of 3 to 6 at least. So 3 to 6, make your children have some early learning, make your children have pre-primary education, and then only 6 onwards they should enter in class 1, 2nd, 3rd likewise. Fine. So this is what has been provided in this particular article. Okay. Now moving on to the next article. Dickinsonia fossil found in Bhimbetka is old beehive. Not very much important, but Bhimbetka is important place. First of all, let me tell you about the Bhimbetka. So basically guys, when we talk about Bhimbetka is in Madhya Pradesh. And Bhimbetka is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the World Heritage Site Why? Because it has the complex of rock shelters. It has a complex of rock shelters, caves, and these caves and rock shelters in Bhimbetka has the oldest evidence of the human habitations in India. They have the cave. They have largely the caves or caves from Paleolithic era. Okay, 100 lakh years old. Okay, and in these caves there are much of the fossils, much of the evidence of the human habitations that have been found. Okay, so this is about the Bhimbetka, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So actually, guys, what happened? What happened? Few months back, some of the archaeologists from the US, they visited the Bhimbetka and they saw this particular thing in Bhimbetka. They clicked the photographs, and from there they concluded that this particular impression that they have found in Bhimbetka, it is the fossil of Dickinsonia. It is the fossil of Dickinsonia. What is Dickinsonia? Guys, Dickinsonia is an animal species that is extinct now. So Dickinsonia was an animal which used to live 538 million years ago in cave. So the Dickinsonia animal used to live 538 million years back. So they found this impression and they found that it is of the Dickinsonia, and Dickinsonia was also there in India. They believed this particular kind of a thing. Then some other scientists also came and they said that actually it is not a Dickinsonia's fossil, it is a beehive. It is a beehive. Okay, so bees hive. Okay, fine. So that is something that has happened. Is it clear or not? Fine. So that is all about it. Now moving to next article. Fine. Mains practice question for today. The Union Budget 2023 mentioned green growth as one of the 7 priorities or sub-thresholds. Discuss how green growth is a welcome news for India's biological wealth as the country is facing serious losses of natural assets. So GS paper number 3, 10 marker question. Fine. That is all, guys, about it. I hope that you have understood it. Okay. Let's take some of the doubt questions if you have. Is there any significance for exam by reading Burkina Faso article? Burkina Faso, not much significance for our exam, if I to be very clear, but just read it to see as how in Africa also China, Russia, and on other hand West differences are apparent. So for that thing you can see. What is the difference between natural right and human right? Guys, natural right are inalienable. Human rights are important, but human rights are given by a constitution, by some convention, but natural rights are inalienable, which you cannot take from that. Okay. Digitalization are little confusing. Digitization, not different. Digitization is to give digital aids or give digital tools to the different businesses. Okay, bring the offline physical processes online, make them digital. That is digitization. Okay, that is all about it, guys. I hope that you have understood all these questions. Fine. Okay, so that is all, guys, for the today. I hope that you are understanding the initiative. Fine.